Today I'm going to discuss how I'm going to run the government. How I'm going to run the government in a very good way, in a very huge way. I'm going to run the government. I'm going to discuss with you. I'm going to discuss with you, how I'm going to run the government. Step by step. All the morality means morality, administration, financial administration, ethical administration, every single thing, and helping the common people administration, which means my administration is built for the welfare state of the country, not for the economy of country. Remember, the economic state and the welfare state are two different concepts. If your country is too much economic, then that is not a welfare state, because that is concentrating on the profit of a nation that is going to be owned by only and it is going to be dependent. It is going to be dependent on the salaries, and only few of the countries, they are going to manage this work life balance, like Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. They have successfully achieved it. And you know what? Why they have achieved it? Because their population is very less. But now, in a country like India or Pakistan, see, I'm applying for the job of dictatorship. I'm applying for the role of a dictatorship, monarchical rule, as a common man. And I'm not born in a rich family. But I know I belong to the common man. I belong to the common man family. So that's the reason. If you appoint me as the dictator of your country, and I'm applying for every single country, 190 nations, any country can welcome me, and any country can follow these rules and regulations, which I am saying it right now, how I'm going to rule it. And you know what? Your life is going to be very, very easy, very, very completely easy. You know what? Why it's completely easy? Why it's completely easy? Why it's completely easy? I'm going to tell you why it's completely easy. Because I know one thing, that the economy of a state and the welfare of a state are the two sides of one coin. Are the two different sides of one coin. And when you toss that coin, particularly up in the air, either economy of a coin should be falling, and that welfare of the state will be losing. Means economy is the head, and the welfare of a state is the tail. So if economy of the nation is concerned, economy of a nation is growing, but whereas the welfare of the citizens which is concerned, that is going to be completely devastated. And that's the reason many people are suffering from poverty, unemployment, hunger, and the quality of life which they deserve as the people who take the birth inside that particular country. So I looked at all the metrics and all the measures, and I came into one conclusion, that if you want to achieve the economy of a nation, you can achieve it, but you have to neglect the welfare of the people. But because the economy of the nation, the economy of a nation is concentrated in the private sector, and that private sector is governed by the top 10%, and this private sector is going to be independent and making the bottom 90% dependent. And that's why the profit of the nation is concerned with this top 10%, who holds these assets by the birth. Means who holds the real estate, agricultural lands, educational institutions like schools, colleges, universities, and wine stores, malls, industries, factories, textiles, production plants, everything, every single means of production of goods and services. So they are going to just buy it, and those who are going to manufacture it, they are going to profit from it, and those who are going to sell it, they are going to profit from it. And they are going to make the profit, and they are going to make their workers dependent on the system, and the workers have to be dependent on the salaries and the loans and the schemes provided by the government. That is how the administration is going to be ruled. That is how the people are ruled. Yes, there should be a dependency and there should be independency, but But remember, if the independency exploits the dependency too much, then what is the use of that dependency? Yes, you are dependent. Of course, you are dependent on the salaries. But that independency, if that exploits the dependency, then that is wrong. And that is what I'm saying it. Inside India, you don't receive anything from the government, and your salaries are going to be taxed. You are paying you are paying, your salaries are taxed, your goods and services are taxed, and you are paying high interest to the banks for taking something, making something of your own with the comforts and luxuries. Okay, that is not going to produce any profit, and that is going to depreciate over the value of time. Okay, that is going to depreciate over the time, and you know what, and the assets are going to appreciate over time. So which means we are in such a corundum, that the dependency of the people working for the independent people, the dependent people, the dependency of the people on the salary who are working for the independent people in such an ecosystem of economy, the capitalism economy, especially that too in a democracy where there is a lot of corruption and there is no transparency and no accountability for the 5 years election after getting elected. So that makes me wonder how these people are going to survive in this economy. That because you are not going to get any single thing from the government, because the government, whoever you have elected, they have captured all the funds and they have transferred it somewhere else. That is the corruption. And and whatever the funds should be utilized for your welfare, it has gone. And you know what, whatever the salary it is going to be given to you, that is going to be insufficient to you. So that's the reason you are making loans. Then your salaries are taxed, and at the same point of time, every single goods and commodities are taxed. It's just like you are running a race, and the goal and the finishing line is just moving away, and you're never ever going to reach it. Yeah, okay, yes, you are trying your level best, but some of the bastards, they have taken the knife and they are stabbing behind you the back through the corruption and through the monopoly. Okay, they are just piercing your leg, so that you can't run fast. You want to run fast, but they don't want to run you fast. Okay, that is what this capping of salaries. Yes, capping of salaries is done because you need the professions to work. Remember, if no capping of salaries is done, what will happen? And no inflation. And at one saturation point, the dependent people will become the independent people. And that's the reason they will stop working, and you need the professions to work. And you know what, you need doctors, you need engineers, you need teachers, you need you need scholars, you need mathematicians, you need scientists, you need actors, you need entertainment people, you need electricians, carpenters, plumbers, you need every single one. Yeah, you need every single one. And you need some repairing jobs, or repairing jobs and construction jobs, construction workers. You need everyone to be there inside one particular ecosystem of society and a community, so that they work for you. But what about, it's good, the dependency should be there, but at what cost? Not at the cost of exploitation, not at the cost of too much inflation, not at the cost of just shifting the goalpost completely away again and again, and through the inefficient. And if the government is so much inefficient, just like the same Modi government here in 2024 to 2029, which is useless piece of shit. Yeah. And you know what? And most of the governments, they have become useless because they can't protect their citizens from corruption and inflation. Is there any government which is going to protect their citizens from corruption and inflation? Very less governments where there is a welfare state achieved. And if their welfare state is achieved, then that is going to be a strict state. And the rules and regulations are going to be strict. And the people cannot move freely. So all these parameters are existing at one point of a time. Because either you need to have heads, either you need to have a tails. But you will not have heads and tails at one point of time. What is that? You are going to have an economy of a nation that is going to be producing profits, that is going to benefit only top 10%. If that is not going to be there, that bottom 90% is going to be exploited, which means you are growing the economy of nation, then the bottom 90% should be exploited, because the ministers are going to exploit through the capital, through the corruption, through the infinite supply of money. So, and no accountancy and no transparency. And if the welfare state of a nation is achieved, yes, you are helping a hell of a people. You are helping every single one inside the state, inside one country. But what about the economy, they are saying? Because you have to compete against the 190 nations in the global share market, in the foreign exchange market. I'm fed up of all these things, man. I'm fed up of all these things because either this, either that. But there's one thing which you can achieve it. There's one thing which you can achieve it, which is going to provide you heads and tails at both point of a time. At both point of a time. No corruption, minimal inflation, and very minute currency devaluation. No corruption, not even a single corruption. No corruption, or else a minimal amount of 1% or 0.5 or 1% corruption. 99% efficient government, 99% efficient use of the funds, and very less inflation. Very less inflation means just shifting the goalpost like this. And currency devaluation to make sure that the common people of a nation is not exploited. So, which makes us question our integrity, which makes us how much we are efficiently integrated. So that's the reason there is somewhere I am hoping that I am going to be in such a position after this video, that I am going to be in such a position which is going to be completely dominating position for the welfare of a state. And you know what? And if your country has to be economically progressive, like a Switzerland, like a Singapore, whose currency powers are very much dominating, so definitely there should be no corruption at all. One thing they have understood, the Singaporeans under Lee Kuan Yew, which was a swamp, there will be no corruption. They never gone for any corruption, and they made the use of funds to build the capital. They used the capital to build the infrastructure, healthcare, education, and foreign investment capitals, and they did it very good. And that's the reason Singapore is where and India is where. And see the Switzerland. So all these economies, they focused on self-efficiency and more dependency on them, and very less dependency on other nations to the global market arena. So that makes us wonder where we are here right now in India. We are in such a society, we are completely going down. And you know what? In the society in Pakistan, it is also, it is having high unity because of the one community, that is Muslims, Islamist people. But what about the economy? What about the terrorism going there? What about the loans which has been sanctioned, which they have to pay with the interest, and they are asking for more loans and loans. Are they taking the loans for the welfare of the state of the Pakistan? No. They are trying to buy the weapons, and for what? Those weapons are not going to feed the people of Pakistan. Those weapons are going to put the people of Pakistan's life in danger. You know why? Because you are attacking a country like India, and in a country like India, which is having a nuclear power, it is going to attack you back. It is going to destroy your your establishments, your defensive buildings, and then you have to reconstruct it. And you have to reconstruct it. How you are going to reconstruct it? Again, take the loan and construct it. Which means you are enslaving yourself through the buying of the weapons. Which means you are going to attack India, and then you are using for the bombs, and again you are enslaving yourself with the loans Then, so instead of using the loans for the destruction purposes, use for the construction purposes for the people of Pakistan. And if you can't do it, okay, allow me to do it. No, you can't do it because you cannot trust Indian. You cannot trust Indian. Of course, I know it. Now people of India, they have too much wealth inequality. Top 1%. Okay, out of 146 crore people, 1.46 crore people, they hold 40% of the nation's wealth and 25% of nation's income. And the top 10%, which means 14.6 crore people, almost 15 crore people, 15 crore log, 15 crore people, they hold 68% of the population, 68% of the wealth. And then the bottom 50, they hold 6.4% of the wealth. So, those who have, which means bottom 50 means 73 crore people. What is 50%? 73 crore means लगभग 70, 71, 72, 73 करोड़ लोगों के पास सिर्फ और सिर्फ 6.4%, exactly, wealth is there. So what is the meaning of this thing? What is the meaning of this thing? These people are dependent. These people are dependent on the salaries. When these people are dependent on the salaries and the government, and first of all, they are not going to get the salaries adjusted to the inflation, and they are going to be exploited by the inflation, too much inflation, and the currency devaluation, which is making them to spend more funds to get that particular goods and commodities, which they have got it at a very less amount of funds, very less number of funds. What is less number of funds? Suppose you are spending 250 rupees notes to get one goods and commodity, but after inflation you have to spend 450 rupees notes. Means 2 notes you have been using to get that goods and commodities. 100 rupees you are wasting. 100 rupees you are spending. 100 rupees minus. Now extra 100 is minus. Why? Because of currency devaluation and inflation. That is what the currency. It's just shifting your goalpost. So if that currency devaluation and inflation, which we can, which we operate on the government level, if that thing goes for 105 or 110 rupees or 115, yes, you can manage it. But what if it goes for 150, 160, 130, 140? No, the people are going to be exploited in the name of profits by the top 10%. That is how this system is sucking. This system sucks because there are suckers. There are suckers of the wealth, and they are going to suck the wealth by blood of the poor. And this capitalism is such a system. It is built for sucking the wealth by taking the blood of the poor. And every single time the blood of the poor has to be sacrificed in order to make the wealth. Through their hard work, dedication, sacrificing of time, everything. For what? For what? Running such a race which does not have a finishing line. And that finishing line, when they come nearer, that is going to be shifted away from them. Too much high. So they cannot finish the race. They cannot finish the race. And they cannot finish the race. And when they cannot finish the race, then so that's the reason dictators have to be born, brothers. Dictators have to be born. Empires. You need empires. You need dictators. You need kings. You need Peshwas. You need kings, brothers. You need kings. You need kings. And that's the reason I'm applying for the position of a king. I'm applying for the position of a king of India, for the king of Pakistan, for or any country whose economy is completely down, just like Argentina. Venezuela. So that's the reason I'm applying for every single country, even America too. America is also, it's a corporate greed machine. What is America? America itself is one of the, I used to think, India is the worst thing. Right now I'm saying India is the best thing, because Indian politicians, they only take corruption, but they are not engaged in some pedophile thing. They are not engaged in some wrong things. Only few of the names are there. But remember this thing. But when entire Hollywood is compromised, when entire Hollywood is compromised, when entire, okay, most of the Hollywood is compromised. Okay, most of the Hollywood is compromised. Most of the industry stars are compromised. And most of the politicians, most of the high profile figures, they are involved in such a case which involves a scandal by exploiting the children. Not even the woman after 20 years. No, children. So that is what you are saying. America needs a king. Pakistan needs a king. India needs a king. The land of African continent, entire African continent needs a king. Needs a king. There should be only one king for Africa, for 54 nations. And there should be only one currency for Africa. In order to stop exploitation from the Western countries, especially from the French. Especially from the French. So these things have to be there. That's the reason that's the reason I'm not applying for a small job. I'm not applying for a small job. Okay, I don't dream small things. I don't dream engineers. I don't dream becoming engineer, doctor, or or actor, or I'm interested in acting. I'm interested in film direction. I'm interested in what? I'm interested in what? Huh? Okay, for YouTube 4K streaming. I'm interested in game direction. I'm interested in story writing. Film story writing, cinematic story writing. So this all jobs can be done by someone else. But the role of a dictator, the role of an administrator can be done only by one man. By one man only it can be done. It's me. And that's the reason I have been applying for the role of dictatorship. Because I have to protect the people from the fractional reserve banking systems, inflation, currency devaluation, corruption, Cantillon effect, buy, borrow, die method, every single wrong shit. Like every single rule in the book, the stocks are not taxed until it becomes an unrealized gain, right? And you can buy something from the stocks. So all these rules and regulations and you can accept the salary in the form of stocks because it becomes an unrealized gain, right? Which cannot be taxed. So there are many loopholes in the tax codes of IRS. And that's the reason, in order to protect the citizens of a nation, in order to protect the citizens of a land of a nation, who have taken the birth, and most of them, they are, by the law of averages, only few people, they are going to take the birth inside the rich section, and most of the people, overwhelming section of the people, they are going to be poor and middle class. So what about them? And you know what? The system has to be dependent, because if there's no dependent system, then the professions does not exist. Sorry to say this. If everyone becomes independent, no one will work. So that's the reason a dependent system should be there, but but not at the cost of exploitation through inflation, currency devaluation, and Cantillon effect, and the buy, borrow, die method, and and the government corruption, the government vulgar corruption, and bribery, in the government offices. So this thing has to be stopped, and that's the reason you need a king. And if you don't need a king, then welcome to democracy. And welcome to capitalism shit that is going to exploit you for the rest of your life. The capitalism sucks. And the capitalism sucks, and the democracy also sucks. And and if you have too much religions, like in India, and that too a democracy you have, yes, that is also a biggest virus. That becomes the biggest virus. Why? Too much religions, that too in a democracy, where two parties are going to fight. They know that they know that these people, they are going to fight for a religion. Then definitely they are going to sponsor the religion in order to escape from the real time problems. So that is why you need a king for India. You need a Tathastu guy. What is Tathastu? One man should be a king. One man should be a god for you people. Just one man. You don't need others to take care. There will be some development officers, there will be some verification officers, in my cabinet. But You need one supreme power. You need one supreme decision maker. You need one supreme decision maker, central authoritarian, totalitarian, and at the same point of time, you need to be a, yes, exactly, yeah, complete superficial authority you need to have. Otherwise, the citizens of a nation are going to be exploited forever through the capitalism, through the capitalism, and through the democracy, and through the government corruption. Remember, government corruption. See, remember, government corruption, bribery. Okay, government corruption at the higher level, that is minister level. Okay, and bribery at the, yes, exactly. And government, okay, and lot of corruption at the lower level, in the municipality level, okay, in the, yes, exactly, in the district level, in the state level, that is different, in the central level, that is different, in the state level is different, and in the district level is different. Whom you trust, you don't trust anyone. Whom you trust, okay, you don't trust anyone, but still you are, after 5 years you are making a decision, like, okay, you have the power to vote, you can change the things. Yes, you only have the power to change the government, but both of the viruses, but remember, both of the two parties, Democrats and the Republicans, BJPs and the Congress, they are the two snakes. They're just the two snakes. And one is a bigger snake, one is a smaller snake, and you will always select. And remember, and that's the reason. And remember, one snake will appear very big and one snake will appear very small, and the next, after 5 years, you will select a smaller snake, so that, yes, exactly, and then this bigger snake will become a very smaller snake, and then this snake will become bigger snake, and then you will say, then you will elect this one. So this entire snake systems will be there forever, and that's the reason you are not selecting the governments, you are selecting the snakes. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I have understood the game of democracy. I have understood this game because this democracy sucks. This Senate sucks. Senate, Parliament, lot of discussion to do one single job that can be done very easily. But because they don't want to do it. Because why they don't want to do it? Because if they have to do it, what is the criteria? They have to utilize those funds for the welfare of a state. And if those funds have to be used, then what about their collection inside their pockets? So that's the game, brother. So that's the game. You need a king. Let one man be rich. And that man serves the entire poor section and the middle section. That is what you need. That's the reason. Let one man be a king. Remember, in the land, that's the reason. You need a story of Mahabharata. Where Shakuni, there's a belief that this 99 brothers, they died in order to make one man alive. And Shakuni survived the game of exploitation by the Kauravas, and then he destroyed the entire Kuru Vamsha. Yes, exactly. That is in Mahabharata. And right now, I'm applying the same formula in a reverse way. Why? You have to just make one change. What is that change? You need to appoint one single man in order to say goodbye. Bad boys, goodbye to the bad boys of your government. You have to just say goodbye to the bad boys, bad gangsters of your parliament. There are some good guys of your parliament. I salute them. But most of them, they are bad guys. The bad guys of the parliament, you have to say them goodbye. And that's the reason, the parliament discussions, Congress, it is going to take a hell of a time. The law and judiciary takes a hell of a time. Remember, under my sections, if a toilet is going to be made, definitely, until toilet is made, until that toilet building is made, until that toilet is constructed, you know what? Everyone, including the laborers, workers, raw materials, resources, and the engineers who are going to shape that, they are going to sit there and they are going to make it. Let it take again and again and again and again, again and again and again and again. They have to, okay, they have to come and come and come and come and come and there, and they have to get the certificates from me. They have to get the certificates from me to what? Okay, that the toilet has been constructed. The toilet has been constructed successfully, and they will get the certificates from me, and they will get the, okay, proof. Okay, and you know what? All the people who have been, okay, all the people who want the toilet to be constructed in that particular locality, they will say with the proof, they will give the signatures, and that signatures I am going to show it as a proof. That is what I will be doing with it. That is how my government is going to be efficient. And that's the reason I am going to take only 1% of the cut. 1% of the cut. Yes, exactly. I need 1% of the cut. And for country like South Africa, for countries like, for African continent, because of which it is completely, exploited. So that's the reason I am reducing my cut to 0.5% for African continent. Okay. Remember, my shares are here. For African continent, my share will be 0.5% for first 10 years. 0.4% for the next 10 years. And 0.25% for the third 10 years. And I am going to serve only for 30 years. And after that, my sons and my daughters are going to take it. And then they are going to serve 0.1% for the next year. African continent is this much, and America is okay, you know what, 2% for the first 10 years, and okay, and 1% for the next 10 years, and 0.5% for the next 10 years, and 0.1% for the entire life. Okay, now remember, America 2%, okay, and India, my country, it's 1%. It's 1% for the first 10 years. Yeah, and 0.5% for the next 10 years, and 0.25 for the next 10 years. Yes, exactly. I am going to be taking the cut. Okay, and you need to know, okay, and you are expecting the level of transparency and accountability inside the systems. Okay, inside my systems, it is going to be 0.25. It is going to be 1%, 0.5, and 0.25. Okay, inside India and Pakistan. Yes, exactly. And Pakistan also same thing, but they have to cover the cost of my expenses, okay, during the foreign travel. Yeah. Why? Because it is a Pakistani rupees, but Indian rupee is somewhat significant. It's 3 times more powerful than the Pakistan currency. Yeah. Yeah, if people of Pakistan want me, yes, definitely I can do it. And I can assure to India that, okay, not even a single terrorist attack is going to happen on India under my tenure. Not even a single one. Yeah. African continent, America, India. African continent, America, and India. They are the first three major. You know what? Okay, the targets of mine. Because especially America. Okay, India comes later first. America is the first thing, because if I solve the problems of America. If I make America quiet, the entire problems of the world will be, yes, exactly. And you know what, if I come to the power, the first thing I have to do is I have to talk to the Zionist lobby of Israel, and then I have to talk to the Zionist lobby of Israel, and you know what, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, and you know what, the members of the deep state, okay, once and for all, just one meeting, because I have to go for, because after that I will be independent. Because because I don't want my head, and I'm going to dissolve the CIA. I'm going to dissolve the Central Intelligence Agency. I don't want that shit. I don't want that. I don't want CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. Not even a single one. Yeah. America is going to be a greatest nation once again under me. Yeah. What do you say? That's the reason the time has come to convert the governments into the kingdoms. The time has come, because almost 300 to 400, 500 years have been lapsed, and what you have got in return, you are first of all, your ancestors got you know what, they got exploited by the landlord system. And now, again, you are exploited by the world stock market. Only the wordings are changing, only the words are changing, but you are serving the same lords, but you are serving the same rich lords again and again and again and again. And these rich lords, they are manipulating the government tax policies, they are manipulating the government policies inside their favor. And that's the reason you need one king. You just need one king. You just need one king to solve the problems. If a particular work needs to be done, it will be done. If one work needs to be done, it needs to be done. It has to be done. It will be done. It will be done. Remember this thing. And remember, if there is no resources to do it, okay, until the resources will be there, until the resources will be manufactured, the raw materials and the resources are manufactured, again the resources are going to be manufactured. And again, that particular things are going to be constructed for the welfare of the people. That is what I can do. And remember, I don't give fake promises. Remember that as a dictator, I have to be transparent. I'm going to lead a wealthy life. Remember this thing. One man leads a wealthy life to make your life a greatest happy, prospering and thriving, flourishing life. That can be acceptable. But if all the people inside the government, they are going to lead a luxurious and wealthy life, and for that, and the rich billionaire, and they are going to take the funds from the rich people through to practice their monopoly through the corporate shit, through the corporate capitalism shit, and then they are going to manipulate the tax codes, IRS, and they are going to shape that economy built for corporate capitalism shit, neglecting the bottom 90%. Then the bottom 90%, they are built for survival. So you have to say, you have to choose the coin, you have to choose the coin, you have to choose the toss, you have to choose the coin. Which side are you? You are on the side of the government and the democracy, or else you are on the side of favoring for the kingsmanship. You just need one king. You just need one king, guys. You just need one king to entire world. I am built for entire world. Remember this thing. Argentina, Brazil, Lithuania, Argentina. Let me start from Latin America. Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Peru, Cuba, that is Central America, Cuba. Now, Venezuela, Colombia, North America, Canada, USA, Mexico, Honduras, and then Cuba, Europe, Germany, Austria, Lithuania, Latvia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Hungary, Cyprus, Finland, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Russia, Mother Russia. Except Russia, because Russia is in the safe hands. Russia is in the greatest safe hands. There is no way. There is that man. That man is one of the greatest person to be lived inside Russia. Who care for the Russians, and that's the reason you need Putin sir more than me. Let Putin sir be there. Yeah. Now, except Russia, except China. Xi Jinping sir is doing very well, and Putin sir is doing very well. Yes, yeah, both of them. But when it comes to India, even I am ready for Bangladesh. Bangladesh, Nepal, Australia, New Zealand. Yeah, Australia, I think good. Australia, I like Australia. I like kangaroos. Why? Because they feed their children inside that pocket. Yeah, they are going to care. The kangaroos are going to care for the children. That's the reason Australia is no problem. But New Zealand, its economy is somewhat here. And then France. Yeah, I don't know French. France, yeah, ready. France, ready. Belgium, Cyprus. Belgium, Cyprus. Now, when it comes to this much countries, yeah, Ecuador, Costa Rica, Panama, Okay, so you can do anything, you can do anything by following the set of instructions. And my cut is very reasonable. And you know what? And you know what? How we can trust you. Remember this thing. Whatever the goods and services, whatever the goods and services, and the taxes on those goods and services, and whatever the assets, okay, remember this thing. Every single goods and every single transaction is going to be given to you every single day, so that you can evaluate it exactly. If you have eaten somewhere else and you have paid the taxes, and that is going to come inside a PDF, that is going to come inside a PDF on that particular day only, two times, one morning time, okay, one afternoon time, and one night time. Afternoon 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, or else night 11 o'clock. Those two PDFs are going to come, and you have to be ready for those PDFs. And okay, and that's the reason my governments are going to be transparent for the welfare of the people. If any, not even a single corruption is going to be tolerated apart from mine cut. Okay, because I'm going to give you 99% efficiency to 98% efficiency. And for Africa, I'm going to give you 99.5% efficiency from the start only. Yes, I'm going to become rich. Let one man be wealthy. Let one man be wealthy. Let one man be wealthy. There's no problem. But if everyone becomes wealthy, there's a huge problem. And if everyone is going to accumulate the wealth, then also there is a problem. Huge amount of problems are there. If accumulation of wealth inequality, and at the same point of time corruption, and you know what? That's the reason very less funds for the development and currency devaluation, and you know what? Your exports, and you have to export more than the import. Your importing power is lost because you are exporting power in order to meet the demands of global reserve currency, that is US dollar. So that's the reason which makes you to question the policies of the government right now. And you know what? The law and judiciary, okay, by starving this 90% of this economy, the murders, chain snatching, bank robberies, burglars, crime rates will go higher and higher in such a society where there's a lot of corruption. If you look at the society where there's a lot of corruption and bribery, and there's a lot of wealth accumulation in the top, sitting in the top 10%, and the bottom 90%, they are going to be starving, and their minds are going to become corrupt, and their minds are going to get corrupted, and then they are going to do the murders. And based upon the wealth accumulation, bank robberies, ATM robberies, every single thing is there. And this thing is concerned, the crime is concerned with, remember this thing, you are not a criminal. You are made to be a criminal. The government sells you crime because first it commits the crime, and that's the reason it is making you to commit crime each and every single day. So that's how these government structures are built for. So that's the reason the government sells you the crime. The government distracts you that the government is saint. The government just distracts you, showing that it's a saint. But government is the biggest criminal bastard of all the time. Most of the times the government is the criminal thing, because it is selling you the crime, because it supports the wealth accumulation. And what is the wealth accumulation? That is economy and the profits. And for these profits, the welfare of the state is going to be destroyed. And because of which there is a lot of murders, there's a lot of crime which is going to happen inside the society. And that's the reason this concept of government and this law and judiciary and this currency powers, they suck the blood of the poor and the 90%. And that's the reason you need someone from the Tathastu. You need Tathastu guy. You just need one Tathastu guy. You just need one dictator. Yes, exactly. You just need one guy with palm, showing that my palm is there for you. All the 5 fingers cover the welfare of your children and your future generations for the next 1000 years to come. Now, you don't want that shit? Yes, be happy in democracy hell. Be happy in the hell of a democracy. That's an illusion, guys. Come on. You have experienced the democracy and how this democracy sucks you, how democracy destroys you. You know that. But still, you want this thing only to be continued for the rest of your life, and you don't want the kingsmanship to take over. Right now, why India has been exploited? Because there were many kingdoms. There was not even one king for India. If India had one king and a huge army, the Britishers would have not had guts to rule it for 200 years. There were Marathas, there were Marathas, there were Mughals, there were Marathas, there were Mughals, there were Nizams, there were Nawabs, and that's the reason. That's the reason why Pakistan attacks Kashmir each and every single day. Because India has politics. They know it, and India has politics. The Congress is going to use that thing as a weapon, and the BJP is going to use it as a weapon. And because of these two parties using Kashmir as their weapons, definitely the people are going to be exploited and their lives are going to be destroyed. Okay, just you look at Pahalgam and Pulwama, and you know what? The blood of the soldiers, it is there on every single BJP guy, and you know what? Congress guys. The blood. Yes, is exactly it's there. And that's the reason. Okay, remember this thing. Okay, the problems, the most toughest problems requires the most smartest solution and the creative solutions. And once I become the king of India, I'm going to solve the problem of Kashmir. I'm going to solve the problem of Kashmir by hook or crook. I know how to solve the problem of Kashmir. Okay, yes, exactly. And if I become the dictator of Pakistan, the problem of Kashmir will be solved very quickly. And no terrorism in Pakistan as well as India, exactly. And no more funding from America to Pakistan, and that will be stopped. And we can receive the funding for the people of Pakistan's development, but for never ever for terrorism and warfare. Okay, I can do that. But when it comes to terrorism, when it comes to terrorism, then what is going to be happening? Remember, the people inside Pakistan, they are migrating from Pakistan to UK and other things, and they're occupying that thing because they're not safe inside Pakistan. And that's the reason the Pakistan has to be safe den for them. It has to be a lion's den for them that is going to protect it. So that's the reason you need just one king. You just need one lion. You just need one Godzilla there. Come on. No, you don't want it. Yes, congrats. Yeah, practicing the democracy shit forever. To all the Pakistanis. Yes, that's the reason. Someone has to become a king. Let one man be wealthy, and your life is going to be healthy. And happy, healthy, prosperous, flourishing, thriving. Yes, exactly. That's the reason, brothers. That's the reason. I have to protect you from the fractional reserve banking shit. I have to protect you from the fractional reserve banking. Inflation, corruption, currency devaluation, and you know what? I have to protect you from bribery. I have to protect you from monopolies. Okay, I have to protect you from everything, every single shit. I have to protect you. That only kings can do. Only kings can do, not governments. Because the government has to take the permission to pass the law. Yeah, no. Under me, the thing gets done, it will be done. Okay, if the things have to be done, it has to be done on that particular day. And until it will let it take time, 1 year, 2 years, and until that thing is achieved, everyone has to work for that thing. That is how my leadership will be completely aggressive. And it's going to be completely, yeah. And that's the reason. And if you give me a role of a president, I'm going to be useless. Because I have to bend. I have to bend according to the opposition party. I have to bend according to the corporate monopolies. I have to bend according to the financial interest of some top 10% rich guys. So that's the reason you need to have it. That's the reason, brothers. That's the reason, brothers, sisters, ladies, gentlemen, and the elders and the children of your particular land belonging to the 190 different nations. You need dictator, and Africa, especially Africa, needs dictators. Africa needs dictatorship. Entire African continent, 54 nations. Libya, Mozambique, Malawi, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Egypt, Cameroon, Nigeria, Algeria, Albania, Morocco. All these countries, they need dictatorship, heavy dictatorship, a huge dictatorship. And one currency, one strongest currency in order to make the life very happy. And you know what? Nobody is going to remember if the price of the diamonds, if the price of diamonds, chemicals, and some great natural resources, they are going to have the value of a strongest currency, then you are not going to be exploited. That's the reason every single thing is there with the currency power and the currency devaluation. Currency power and currency devaluation and currency valuation, your entire economy is just concentrated on these three terms. Yeah, that's the reason you need to go for dictatorship. The strongest dictatorship from the strongest people. Okay, remember this thing. You are powerful people of the powerful land, but you need to have a powerful dictator. That's the reason. The combination will be there. That's the reason. Remember this thing. See the rates. See the rates right now. See my rates. These are my rates. See my rates. See my rates. 0.5, 0.4, 0.5 for first 10 years. Which means first 10 years is 2026 to 2036. This is 2036 to 2046. And this is 2046 to 2056. And this is 2050. Okay, this is again same thing. 2026 to 2036. 2046. Okay, 2036 to 2046. Okay, 2046 and 2056. America and India. Okay, again, yeah, 2036 to 20. Okay, first 10 years 1%, 0.5, which means this is 0.5 because African continent. So that's the reason I am reducing my cut from 1% to 0.5, which means the collection of taxes, entire taxes of African continent, 0.5% belongs to me solely. Understanding the things? Yeah, exactly. And that's the reason I don't work for the salaries. I work for this big amount. I don't work for the salaries. Keep the salaries shit to yourself. Because I have to become independent. Because I'm trying my level best to become independent from this ecosystem. So this 0.5% is for the first 10 years. What is it? That's the reason. Yeah, easiest game. Because 99.5% efficiency. It's very good. Okay, 99.5% efficiency. Remember, nobody, okay, African continent, okay, I can assure that nobody is going to exploit your natural resources, minerals, chemicals, gold, especially gold, diamonds, African gold, African diamonds, African pearls, rich natural resources. Exactly. Nobody is going to exploit it. At the cost of what? 0.5%. Yeah, you have to go for it, man. You have to go for it. And all the presidents right now will become the caretakers or the main officers for their countries. Means there's nothing called as president. There's nothing called as president. If the president of South Africa will be converted into a main officer, main head of, under me, I will be the main officer, means main central officer of Africa. Means only that wordings will be changing. But only the wordings will be changing. But you will be having only one head. Yeah, Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. Yes, of course. Yeah, again, that means main central officer of, yes. Means you are changing the things. It is what it is. And just you can refer, such a video. Just you can refer a video. Just you can refer a video where, okay, I have told you how I'm going to rule your state. Okay, that video is the most important video of your lifetime, where you can see whatever the benefits I'm going to give it to you for the welfare state of entire African continent. Remember, my concern with it, okay, more than anyone else, if I became the dictator of any country, my businesses are always with the welfare of Africa. And you know what? I'm not going to pay the taxes to you. I'm going to give a share of profits from the companies which are there inside my government. Okay, whatever my country's companies are there, they are going to give you the profit share, so that your people are going to be having a great infrastructure, healthcare and everything. So, okay, remember, if not like that, okay, at least I'm going to help you in another way. Because my concern is for the people of Congo. Okay, those children, they're being exploited. They are eating the cookie muds. They're eating the mud. They're eating the clay. They're eating the soil. Remember what this exploitation, what this imperial colonialism has done. The people of Burundi, Haiti, and you know what? All these guys, they are eating the clay mud. They are eating the muds. They are eating the mud cookies. They are eating the mud cookies, dirt cookies, and they are adding some salt to it, and they are eating it. How can anyone eat mud, man? You need chapatis. You need breads. You need chapati. You need roti. You need palya. You need all these things. You need all these things to be healthy. And how you are going to destroy your life. And you know what? You are suffering from many diseases inside Somalia. So all these things are there for Africa. So that's the reason the Africa needs dictators. Africa needs dictators, not governments, not useless governments. I'm fed up of useless governments. So that's the reason I'm applying for the role of dictatorship, the central authoritarian power leader. Remember this thing. Yeah, exactly. Central supreme currency I'm going to bring. Yeah, I'm going to bring the supreme currency. I'm going to practice the Tunisian dinar for entire America. For entire Africa. The Tunisian. Okay, some Tunisian dinar is there. Tunisian TWD. I think that currency is very powerful. Okay, somewhat powerful in entire Africa. So I'm going to practice that. I'm going to practice that throughout Africa continent. Yeah. And then I'm going to build the systems. Of infrastructure, healthcare, education, factories, industries, rising the Human Development Index, HDI, so that we can retain the African continent, everything. So, okay, I will reduce. Okay, remember this thing. I will never ever force you to make the loan. My governments will share the gold and diamonds with each other. Okay, you need what? You need diamonds for what? Wearing inside the functions? Yes. Yeah. Let you wear. I don't care. But you will wear it only in the function, and you will go give it back to the government, and the government is not going to sell it. Why? The gold and the natural resources, they are going to be very much important for Africa. And as an African dictator, it's my duty to protect the natural resources of Africa. Not even a single bastard from outside is going to exploit Africa. And we are going to build very huge natural resources reserves. Okay, Yeah, and we are going to build and we are going to become the nuclear power state. Yes, exactly. The first thing I'm going to do is build African continental nuclear power state. First I have to go for nuclear power state, and okay, some great amount of weapons, great amount of artillery, great amount of huge presence. Every single state is going to become every single country is going to become a nuclear power state. I will, okay, remember this thing, because you need to protect yourself first. Okay, that's the reason. Yeah, sea, air, water. Okay, navy, army. Yes, exactly. And everyone is going to be trained in such a way that they become the warriors of African continent. Yes, of course. Because because you can trust, because Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, yeah, and then Muammar Gaddafi, yeah, as I heard the stories. And that's the reason. And that's the reason, even though they were powerful, they were not powerful enough to build a nuclear state. And that's the reason. First, I am going to build the nuclear state. First, I have to build the nuclear state to protect every single natural resources, and in order to protect me. Because remember, because I can't trust on America, I cannot trust on France, I cannot trust on UK, I cannot trust on China, I cannot trust on any country. Yes, exactly. And okay, nickel, cobalt, lithium, yeah, all these things. Okay, remember, the entire continent, the entire world depends on Africa. Remember this thing. They have to bend according to our rules and regulations. We should not bend according to their rules and regulations. Get lost. Yeah. Yes, of course. That is how I'm going to become the African. Yeah. Now America. Yeah, America. Now when it comes to America, yes. Remember this thing. The lesbian culture, the lesbian culture, the gay culture, the pedophile culture, the traumatization, vanity, booze, shit. Okay, yes, every single thing is going to be destroyed, and I will make every single American straight. Not in order to make America great again. Okay, your Trump sir, your president is going to say MAGA, yeah, MAGA, make America great again. Okay, I'm going for make America straight again. Means first you have to make masa. I'm going for MASA, make America straight again. First you have to become straight. You are zigzag, you are circles. Yeah, okay, you are having concentric circles of loops. No. First I will make you straight. Yeah, straight. First I will become straight. The booze, vanity, dope, dopamine, so that you can discover, you can explore, you can invent for the welfare of humankind. First, that is the most important thing. And that's the reason you need kings. You need kings, brothers. You need kings. You don't need governments. You don't need senates. You don't need parliament. You don't need city hall congress. You don't need all these people to just vote. These things will take a lot of time. What are the things which America cannot achieve it in the 200 years, 250 years after independence? I'm going to achieve it in only 20 years. But I need time of 20 to 25 years to achieve it. You have great infrastructure. You have built everything. But what is required right now? What is required? Yes, the welfare of the state, the welfare of the people. In education primarily, so that you don't depend upon the immigrants. And at the same point of time, you need to depend upon the healthcare. The healthcare that is going to be sucked. That is going to suck your income. That is going to suck your expenditure and lessen your savings. And that is going to make you completely deadly. Okay, and you know what? And the food, the quality of food which you eat, that is going to be having a lot of chemicals and toxins, BHTs, and all this. Lot of chemicals are there which is being spreaded, and how you are going to eat it. Yes, under me, organic natural food. And if anyone mixes those chemicals, I'm going to cut their hands. And I'm going to slit their throats. Yeah. Organic natural food, which makes your minds work harder. And spices, and I'm going to bring the Indian spicy food for you. Indian spicy food which you're going to eat it and which you're going to like it. That is going to be completely having a great amount of nutrients. Yeah, exactly. Some great amount of chats which I eat. Okay, yes, exactly. Which has made my mind sharp completely, I think. You need those amount. You need those kind of foods. You need those kind of foods. Okay, whatever the McDonald's burgers, they don't have that much quality. What is there inside this bhel puri and the shiva puris and the pani puris? Unbelievable. That too hygienic. Okay, some parts are there not unhygienic, but still, yeah. Okay, remember, unhygienic is not required. Okay, hygienic bhel puri and shiva puri and pani puri I'm going to serve you. And then pharma, the tablet, the pharma, a patient cured is a customer lost. That philosophy goes on inside America, and because of that reason, the healthcare sucks. And those these things. Okay, healthcare, these things, healthcare, groceries, healthcare, groceries, factories, healthcare, groceries, education. Okay, not to depend upon the immigrants. So I'm going to increase the quality of education, and I'm going to increase the population, inside America, especially the Native American people, so that they are not going to be dependent on the immigrants after some 30 to 40 years or 40 to 50 years. Okay, in 2080 or 2090, and then so that's the reason you have to appoint what? You have to destroy democracy, and you have to destroy government, and you have to appoint a monarch. You have to appoint a monarch. Just one monarch. You have to appoint one monarch. Just one monarch. Just one monarch. He will do the job for you. And India, my Indians, everything. I'm going to serve every single SC, ST. I'm going to serve every single Dalit, every single Brahmin, every single Kshatriya, every single Shudra, every single Vaishyas, and merchants, Pariyas, and and at the same point of time that Lingayats, Lamanis, Muslims, Shias, and Sunnis, and Sikhs in the Punjab. Okay, all these people I'm going to serve you. I'm going to serve you, sir. I'm going to serve you. What do you say? No, you don't want it. Yeah. What do you want? What do you want? Democracy. That is going to suck you. The democracy sucks, man. The democracy sucks. The capitalism, it has capitalism. And democracy, when it is having capitalism and corruption too much, that too in a country, an economy like India, that is going to suck the blood of 90% of the Indians. The bottom 90%. So that's the reason you need dictators. The strongest dictators. The strongest dictator for African continent, or else America, and then India. Yeah. What do you say? It's up to you. It's up to you. I'm applying for a position. India also, Pakistan also. Pakistan also same thing, 1%. But you have to cover the cost of my foreign travels. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that is dependent. Yeah. Okay, yeah. My foreign travels. What do you say? Remember this thing. In order to make you straight, yeah, people like me should be there. In order to make you straight again, yeah, dictators needs to rise from the ashes. Yeah, dictators needs to rise to make you straight, to make you work hard, and to get the fruits of labor, and to have a happy, thriving, prosperous, and flourishing life. What do you say? That is dependent on you. Just decide what you want. America is celebrating 250 years of independence on July 4th, 2026, because it has got the independence before 250 years. And in this 250 years, what you achieved? 200 years of war, corporate monopoly shit, World War One, World War Two, which has killed a lot of American soldiers, lot of American soldiers inside World War Two by making some people rich. Yeah, and there is a lot of blood upon you. And you know what? It's a land of Epstein files. It's a land of Epstein files, pedophile culture, children eating culture. Yeah, children sacrifice culture to serve the Satan. Huh? That is what you practice. That's the reason someone has to capture America, and someone has to capture African continent, so that it is not going to be destroyed or not going to be exploited by anyone else. And then India. So I'm trying to capture the nations. Yeah, financially, through my intelligence. Yeah, what do you say? Yeah, remember this thing. I'm going for dictatorship. I'm going for kingsmanship. Okay, and those who feel, especially inside America, just get separated from your country. Just Texas, people of Texas, if you vote for dictatorship, yes, Texas will be my territory. If people, yes, exactly, I'm going to be the ruler there. If people of Alaska, Texas, Delaware, Michigan, Washington DC, New York, Chicago, Minnesota, Kansas, Arkansas, yeah, everyone. Okay, you need just what? You just need exactly one dictator to rule over. One dictator to rule over. You just need one dictator to rule over, guys. It's a time for kingdoms. 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 And those countries in Africa, those who feel that they want dictatorship, yes, ready. Morocco, Egypt, South Africa, Ethiopia, Somalia, Mozambique, Mali, Zimbabwe, yeah, I was Haiti, okay, Nigeria, Albania, Algeria, Morocco, all these countries. Yeah, Cameroon. You need dictators because you cannot trust on the governments. And those countries who are ready, yes, I'm ready. Yeah. And those countries, and okay, India, entire country has to be ready for dictatorship. Forget about BJP, forget about Congress. भाइयों बहनों, बोलने वाले लोग नहीं चाहिए. 56 इंच का सीना नहीं चाहिए. लेकिन कितना इंच का सीना तुमको फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन उस सीने के अंदर बड़ा दिल होना पड़ता है, बस इतना फर्क. और बहुत सारे पॉलिटिशियंस के पास, अमीर लोगों के पास दिल है ही नहीं. तो जिसके पास दिल है ही नहीं, वो लोग दिलदारी दिखाएंगे लोगों के लिए जिसके पास दिल है. क्या चाहते हो तुम लोग? क्या चाहते हो तुम लोग? इन्हीं लोगों के अंदर मरना, रोज तड़प के मरना, तड़प के जीना. क्या चाहते हो मेरे भाई? मरना चाहते हो या जीना चाहते हो? मालूम नहीं. क्योंकि अगर मालूम होता तुमको कि ये लोग ऐसे हैं. 1947, रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, 15th August 1947, आजादी नहीं मिली थी. फांसी का पंदा कौन लगाएगा? वक्त. गुजरने के बाद पता चला, पहले फांसी का फंदा अंग्रेज लोग लगाते थे, पहले फांसी का फंदा अंग्रेज लोग लगाते थे, अभी फांसी का फंदा हमारे खुद के नेता और हमारे मोनोपोली, हमारे वेल्थ इनइक्वालिटी लगाते हैं। और इसीलिए इतना गरीबी, इतना अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, हाँ, इतना कंपटीशन एग्जिस्ट होता है और गवर्नमेंट इसको प्रोटेक्ट नहीं कर पाता। और इतनी गंदगी और इतनी कीचड़ में जीते हो तुम लोग। इसीलिए देश का राजा, देश का पहला राजा और मेरा वंश, ये तुमको प्रमाण करता है कि आने वाले 1000 साल तक तेरा बच्चा, तेरा बेटी, तेरा पूरा खानदान सुरक्षित रहेगा। पैसे का कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है और कोई लोन नहीं करेगा मेरे अंडर, और लोन करेगा भी हर एक चीज़ के लिए लोन नहीं करेगा, सिर्फ और सिर्फ कुछ लोगों के लिए, सिर्फ कुछ चीज़ों के लिए लोन करेगा, बाकी के बाकी सब कुछ शेयर हो जाएगा। शेयरिंग एंड केयरिंग गवर्नमेंट्स, शेयरिंग एंड केयरिंग सिस्टम्स, मल्टी प्रोफेशनल गवर्नमेंट को लेके आऊँगा मैं। दैट्स व्हाट यू नीड इंडियंस। और अगर तुमको लगता है कि तुम लोगों को पढ़ा लिखा नहीं चाहिए, अनपढ़ गवार लोग चाहिए, ठीक है, और तुम लोगों को चाय वाला ही चाहिए, हाँ, चप्पन इसका सीना ही चाहिए, हाँ, और तुमको गांधी परिवार ही चाहिए जो जाति गणता करता है, जाति गणता करने के लिए उत्सुक है, जाति करने वाले लोग ही चाहिए तुम लोगों को। ये अवकाश, ये मतलब ये जो मौका, ये जो सुनहरा मौका, ये जो सुनहरा पल, ये हिंदुस्तान के सुनहरे पलों में एक है। और हिंदुस्तान के लोग अगर मेरे को नहीं चाहते, अगर हिंदुस्तान के लोग ही अपने बंदे को नहीं चाहते, बिकॉज फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस इज इंडिया, बिकॉज आई हैव टू रिमूव एवरी सिंगल शिट फ्रॉम इंडिया। अगर तुम लोग ही नहीं चाहते इसको, अगर तुम लोग पढ़ा लिखा आदमी नहीं चाहते, अगर तुम लोग अनपढ़ लोगों के ऊपर, अनपढ़ गवारों के ऊपर, और उसके साथ साथ ठीक है चाय वालों के ऊपर, या फिर चाय वालों के ऊपर, या कोई डायनेस्टी यानी कि गांधी परिवार के ऊपर भरोसा करने लगे, और तंबाकू थूकने के ऊपर, घंटा बोलने वाले लोगों के ऊपर, क्रिमिनल्स के ऊपर, मर्डर्स के ऊपर भरोसा करने लगे, तो आने वाले काल में, तो आने वाले पलों में तुमको ठीक है यही लत लग जाएगा, ठीक है, अंधेरे की लत लग जाएगा, कास्टिज्म की लत लग जाएगा, गरीबी की लत लग जाएगा, यही कीचड़ की लत लग जाएगा, यही मलेरिया की, डेंगू की, यही लत लग जाएगा आने वाले। और ये लत लग चुका है तुम लोगों को, और इस लत से छुड़ा रहा हूँ तुम लोगों को, इस लत से आज़ादी दिला रहा हूँ। और तुम लोगों का बस क्या चाहिए, तुम लोगों को सिर्फ और सिर्फ ये बोलना चाहिए यस, ठीक है, आर्मी वालों को, नेवी वालों को, कॉप्स को, ठीक है, बंदूक जो है नहीं, ठीक है, किसके ऊपर मुड़ना चाहिए, ठीक है, हाँ, नेताओं के ऊपर। तुम लोग निकलो, एक बंदा आ चुका है, ठीक है, सबका बाप आ चुका है, ठीक है, हाँ, क्योंकि जब तक ये राक्षस, क्योंकि बहुत सारे पाप हो चुका है यहाँ पे, पापों को तोड़ने के लिए कोई नापने का मशीन नहीं है, इसलिए बाप को उतरना पड़ेगा, पापों का जो, ठीक है, मैं बोलता हूँ, पापों का जो, ठीक है, पाप किया है करप्शन से, ब्राइबरी से, ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स, गवर्नमेंट क्लर्क्स, म्यूनसिपैलिटी कॉरपोरेशंस, ये सब कुछ मिटाने के लिए एक बाप को आना पड़ेगा, एक राजा को आना पड़ेगा, और एक राजा को पैदा करना पड़ेगा, तुम लोगों को पैदा करना पड़ेगा। इतिहास उठा के देख लो, जब राजा हलकट बना तो सेनाधिपतियों ने खुद राजा को गिराया और खुद राजा बने, और तब और इतिहास को तुमको दोहराना पड़ेगा जब तुम्हारा सरकार हलकट बनता है, जब तुम्हारा सरकार ही खुद हलकट है, ठीक है, जब तुम्हारा सरकार हलकट बनता है तो तुमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, किसी एक बंदे को लेके आना पड़ेगा और गवर्नमेंट्स को तोड़ना पड़ेगा, पार्लियामेंट को तोड़ना पड़ेगा, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की बैंड बजानी पड़ेगी, और उसके साथ साथ ठीक है आर्मी नेवी मिलिट्री सब लोगों को बंदूक की नली जो है नहीं नेताओं को लगाना पड़ेगा और बोलना पड़ेगा तू निकल साले, तू निकल, तू निकल, तू निकल, ठीक है, सत्यानाश, हिंदुस्तान को सत्यानाश करके छोड़ेगा तू, ठीक है, हाँ अब राजा की बारी है। बस यही तो है, यही तो खेल है, यही तो खेल है। मैं मर रहा हूं तुम लोगों को बचाने के लिए, और अगर तुम लोग नहीं चाहते तो बाकी की कंट्री है, बाकी की कंट्री है, ठीक है, मुझे मारना मत, मुझे मारना मत। और अगर तुम लोगों को लगता है कि ये लोग सही है और मैं गलत हूँ, ठीक है, इन्हीं लोगों की चमचागिरी करना और इन्हीं लोगों के जो तलवे हैं नहीं वो चाटना, यही इन्हीं लोगों को जूता पहनाना और इन्हीं लोगों को टोपी भी पहनाना, टोपी पहनाना और इन्हीं लोगों को जूता पहनाना, ठीक है। ये जो टोपी है नहीं जो तुम लोग को पहना नहीं, तुम लोगों को यही लोग टोपी पहनाएंगे कि 3 नाम लगाएंगे और टोपी लगाएंगे, मतलब उल्लू बनाएंगे। और जो चप्पल है नहीं जो चप्पल है नहीं जो चप्पल है नहीं वो चप्पल पहना है नहीं, वो चप्पल लेके तुम लोगों को मारेंगे। कैसे? अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, गरीबी, पोवर्टी, अंधकार अपने भाषण से, ठीक है, लोगों को भड़काना धर्म के नाम पे। हाँ, ये चाय वाला वही करता है। ये चाय वाला क्या कम है क्या? ये चाय वाला कम है क्या? ठीक है, ये 56 इंच का सीना कम है क्या? ठीक है, हाँ, सिर्फ कुछ भी नहीं जानता ये बंदा, कुछ भी नहीं जानता, ठीक है, A+B² नहीं जानता ये बंदा। The Prime Minister of India does not know the Prime Minister of India does not know anything. A+B² is also he does not know. A² + B² plus into bracket square. कैसे बंदों को बनाए भाई तुम लोगों ने? हाँ, तुम लोगों को पहले अपने आप को चप्पल मारना चाहिए। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कि तुम लोगों ने किसी पढ़े लिखे आदमी को प्राइम मिनिस्टर नहीं बनाया, ठीक है। पढ़े लिखे आदमी को प्राइम मिनिस्टर छोड़ो, प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनाएगा तो भी किसको बनाओगे? राहुल गांधी को, जो कास्टिज्म, जो वो पढ़ा लिखा बंदा है, ठीक है, पढ़ा लिखा बंदा है, लेकिन उसके दिल में क्या है वो इम्पोर्टेंट है।